What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing another series review, and we will be discussing the Netflix series Wednesday. It was a hit with the fans and a hit with me personally, and I cannot wait to discuss it with you guys. I know I am a little bit late, and it came out on Netflix in December, I think it was either November or December, so I am a little bit late. I've had a lot going on personally, so I haven't had a lot of time to update on the channel, but here I am now. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment your favorite Wednesday moment down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys thought of the show overall. So currently, Wednesday is streaming on Netflix with one season on the platform right now, and season 2 is on the way. Unsure of the release date at this time. The basis of the show is as follows. While attending Nevermore Academy, Wednesday Addams attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, thwart a killing spree, and solve the mystery that embroiled her parents 25 years ago. Which I thought was really, really, really cool. I loved how it had the murder mystery in it, all of that. Jenna Ortega did a great job. This cast has so many talented young actresses and actors who did a wonderful, amazing job, definitely stepped up to the plate. It is currently one of my favorite shows on Netflix right now, definitely in my top 5. That might change when I start sitting down and watching more Netflix, but again, haven't had the time, so it's currently on my top 5. So now that I kind of gave you the rundown, the basis, very vague, we are going to do a deep dive of it, starting with a breakdown of each episode. So we have just one season, so this will go by hopefully super quickly. Let's get into it. The first episode is titled Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe, and Wednesday was directed by Tim Burton, so that is the director of who this series was. So he did a great job with that as well. Wednesday Addams, a high school student, finds her brother Pugsley tied up in a locker. She sees a psychic vision of his bullies whom she attempts to kill, resulting in her expulsion. Her parents, Morticia and Gomez, decide to enroll her in Nevermore Academy, a school for outcasts in Jericho, Vermont. Meanwhile, a hiker is killed by an unknown creature near Nevermore. Wednesday's parents release Thing, a sentient, disembodied hand, to watch over her. Wednesday meets her roommate Enid, her complete opposite, and duels with Bianca, the popular girl, after Bianca bullies a boy named Ronan. Later, Wednesday is nearly killed by a falling gargoyle, but is saved by Bianca's ex-boyfriend Xavier. After escaping her court-ordered therapy session, Wednesday meets Tyler, a coffee barista who agrees to help her escape from Nevermore. However, she is apprehended by Principal Larissa Weems and is taken back to the school. Later, Tyler and Wednesday meet at the local carnival, and Wednesday has a vision of Ronan's death. Ronan attempts to kill her, but is murdered by the monster. So that's a lot to happen in one episode. So yeah, that's just, again, the basis and the major events that happen, but each episode is really, action-packed and jammed. It is also kind of slow, though. It feels like a lot happens that's just spread out, so it's, kind of slow. It feels like it's dragging at the moments, but it's still good overall. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm messing with my stuff. Shoot. Okay. Was definitely not prepared for this. There we go. So episode 2 is called Woe is the Loneliest Number. And the basis of that is that Wednesday convinces a skeptical Sheriff Galpin that the perpetrator of the murders is in fact a monster. Suddenly, Rowan appears unharmed. Wednesday doubts her sanity and decides to investigate the murders herself. She roams the campus inquiring about Ronan and is told that he has been expelled. Meanwhile, Weems grows worried about Wednesday's visions, keeping close tabs on her. Wednesday confronts a defensive Ronan as he leaves the school and sends Thing to follow him. Rowan is revealed to be Principal Weems, who has shape-shifted into him, and Thing loses her. Wednesday has visions of a book belonging to an old student society. In her search for the book, she overhears Bianca planning to rig the upcoming student tournament. Wednesday joins Enid to defeat Bianca and win the tournament. Later, Wednesday discovers a hidden library within the school where she is captured. Of course. And that's where that episode kind of ends. Episode 3 is called Friend or Woe. And the basis of that episode is as follows, with Wednesday finding herself tied up and surrounded by members of an elite student society, including Bianca and Xavier. Wednesday frees herself and leaves the library, taking one of the books with her. Weems orders Wednesday to play at the school's band at an upcoming town ceremony run by Mayor Noble Walker. A drawing in the book leads her to an exhibition at a local fair where she notices the painting of a girl she has seen in her visions. In the forest, Wednesday envisions the girl, believed to be an ancestor of hers, ready to be executed by Joseph Crackstone, the town's founder, who is intent on killing all outcasts, but she is able to escape. Wednesday is ambushed by the monsters, which she discovers to be human. Back in town, Wednesday crashes the ceremony by having Thing destroy an inaugural statue of Joseph Crackstone and is scolded by Principal Weems. While investigating a crime scene in the forest, police find a camera that captured the photos of the monster. Dun dun dun! Very creepy, crazy crawlies. Like, if you're into like the gothic teen where it's at, this kind of reminds me of Riverdale, but better. So if that's the vibe you dig, this show is definitely for you. Episode 4 is called Whoa, What a Night. It's spelled W-O-E, which is kind of cool. Wednesday and Thing break into the coroner's office to copy the files of the monster's victims. In trying to identify a pattern, she finds that each victim had body parts surgically removed. Ew. Wednesday becomes suspicious of Xavier and follows him to his art studio, where she discovers several drawings of the monster, which lead her to the monster's lair. There she retrieves one of its claws and gives it to Sheriff Galpin for DNA matching. Wednesday and Tyler attend a school dance together. Meanwhile, classmate Eugene, who is privy to Wednesday's investigative work, witnesses a cloaked figure blow up the monster's cave. The dance is interrupted by Mayor Walker's son, Lucas, who triggers the building's fire sprinklers in revenge for Wednesday's disruption of the town ceremony. Wednesday senses that Eugene is in danger and heads into the forest, only to find him gravely injured by the monster. This poor kid, bro. Like, he was just, like, there to find a friend, and Wednesday was just like, you're mine now. I'm gonna use you. And then lets this kid get attacked. Well, she doesn't let him. It happens. But, like, imagine that, bro. Like, that just made me really sad for poor Eugene. And then we hop into episode 5, is You Reap What You Woe. And this is kind of like the backstory episode. We kind of understand finally like what happened with her parents, Morticia and Gomez, when they were at the school, which I thought was kind of cool. Unnecessary. We had to get to episode 5 to find out all of this information in detail, but still, what can you do? 32 years earlier, Gomez was arrested at Nevermore on suspicion of killing Garrett Gates, a descendant of Joseph Crackstone. In present times, the Adams visit Wednesday on Parents' Weekend at Nevermore. A family therapy session is cut short when Wednesday confronts her parents about the suspected murder. Meanwhile, Sheriff Galpin learns that the coroner committed suicide after admitting to fabricating Gates' autopsy report. Galpin concludes that Gomez is guilty and arrests him. In prison, Gomez reveals to Wednesday that he was covering up for Morticia, who actually killed Gates. Wednesday and Morticia dig up Gates' graves to find out that he had been lethally poisoned before he could be killed, but are caught and arrested for the night. Later, they confront Mayor Walker, who reveals that Garrett intended to poison the entire school due to his father's hate for outcasts. Mayor Walker agrees to release Gomez after admitting to covering up Gates' motives. Back at Nevermore, Principal Weems reluctantly admits to covering up Ronan's death by means of shape-shifting in an effort to evade controversy at the school. So she decided she wanted to protect the school's reputation by shape-shifting into the student to hide the fact that he had actually died. I'm sorry, what? Bro, that's just, yeah, no way. Like, if that happened modern, like, if that actually had happened, that teacher would be in so much hot water. Like, what the fuck? This show just does things for me. I'm like, what the heck? And that is where episode 5 ends. Kind of. That's just where my snippet ends. Episode 6 is titled Quid Pro Woe. Wednesday attempts to summon Goody, her old ancestor, and a fellow psychic who killed Crackstone. During a surprise birthday party, Wednesday has a vision of Goody, who instructs her to seek out the Gates mansion. There she witnesses Mayor Walker as he is leaving the building and sneaks into his car. After arriving back in town, the mayor is run over and severely injured. Principal Weems locks down the school and forbids Wednesday to leave campus. With Tyler and Enid's help, she escapes and returns to the Gate mansion. There they discover that Laurel Gates, Garrett's younger sister, long to believed dead, might still be alive. They find the severed body parts of the monster's victims in a cellar, but are forced to flee after being ambushed by the monster. Wednesday leads Galpin to the cellar, only to find it empty. At Nevermore, Wednesday convinces Weems not to expel her in order to further pursue her investigation. At the hospital, an unknown figure kills Mayor Walker. Dun dun dun, we end on a gory, a very upsetting moment. Mayor Walker was very, he wasn't, a huge figure, but I really liked him, and I really liked his intentions. I thought he was going to survive, and that episode just killed me because I also saw his son's reaction, and that just broke my heart, personally. I was like, no! Why'd you kill the mayor? Episode 7 is titled If You Don't Woe Me By Now. At Mayor Walker's funeral, Wednesday notices a lurking figure and chases it into the forest. The figure is revealed to be Uncle Fester, who explains to Wednesday that the monster she has been investigating is a Hyde. Together they retrieve a diary from the hidden library, which reveals that a Hyde must always have a master. Later they track and follow Xavier, who they witness meeting up with Dr. Kingbot, Wednesday's therapist, in the forest. After returning from a date with Tyler, Wednesday finds her dorm room vandalized, the diary stolen, and Thing gravely injured. That's another thing that made me really sad. Was why'd they have to hurt Thing? He was just a poor hand, bro. Research into Laurel Gates reveals that she is both alive and the master of Hyde. Wednesday initially suspects Dr. Kingbot, but she is killed by the Hyde. Police arrive to arrest Xavier, who Wednesday believes to be the creature. Wednesday meets with Tyler and kisses him, but suddenly has a vision of him being the Hyde and runs off. Another thing, and that is where my little snippet of the episode ends, but before we dive into the next episode, I just want to say One thing I did not like was that they had the love triangle going on between Wednesday, Tyler, and Xavier. I didn't like that. Wednesday is a character who doesn't really need a man or a love interest. She's perfectly fine on her own. So I don't understand why the directors chose that specifically. Because I felt like they were pushing that throughout the entire time. And I was like, no. Give us more gore, more mystery, more mayhem. That reminds me more of what Wednesday embodies rather than her being a teenager in love with somebody. But that's just me personally. Episode 8 is titled A Murder of Woes. And it starts off with Wednesday and her classmates kidnapping Tyler, and Wednesday tortures him to make him confess. Disagreeing with her methods, her classmates alert Principal Weems, and Wednesday is arrested. At the police station, Tyler confesses to Wednesday that he is the monster. Fed up with Wednesday's behavior, Weems expels her from Nevermore. Wednesday visits Eugene at the hospital, whose description of the figure he saw at the monster's cave matches Mrs. Thornhill, a teacher at Nevermore. Weems, disguised as Tyler, and Wednesday get Thornhill to confess that she is Laurel Gates and manipulated Tyler into killing the victims as a part of her scheme to resurrect Joseph Crackstone and wipe out all outcasts. So Miss Thornhill, she is a very, 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 very interesting character. She is also played by, I believe, Christina Ricci, who actually played Wednesday in one of the previous Addams Family's series. I don't remember which one. I think it was the one in the 90s, but I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, my foot's asleep. However, Gates kills Weems, so the principal died, and subdues Wednesday. Using Wednesday's blood, Gates resurrects Crackstone and leaves Wednesday to die, but Goody appeals to heal her. Enid, having transformed into her werewolf form, defeats Tyler in his Hyde form, while Crackstone breaches Nevermore. With help from Bianca, Wednesday destroys Crackstone, and Eugene helps defeat Gates. Xavier is released from prison, Tyler is detained, and Wednesday departs from Nevermore, which is closing for the remainder of the semester. And that's where the episode ends, and that's where the season ends. And that is, like I said, that's where that ends, all of that goodness. And now that we did the deep dive of the episodes, let's discuss how I feel about the show overall. We're going to start with the cast itself, how I feel they interacted with each other on set and off set. Before I get into depth, let me go over the main cast. Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday Addams, a teenager who possesses psychic powers. Ortega also plays Goody Addams, the Wednesday's deceased ancestor from Wednesday sees in her visions. Karina Vardy portrays a young Wednesday when they do the flashback scenes. Gwendolyn Christie as Larissa Weems, the shape-shifting principal of Nevermore. And then Oliver Wickham plays a young Larissa Weems when we do get that scene. Ricky Lindham as Valerie Kingbot. She's the therapist. And then we have Jamie McShane as Donovan Galpin. He's the sheriff. And then we get Ben Wilson, who plays a young Donovan Galpin when we get our flashback scenes. Then we have Hunter Doohan, who plays Tyler Galpin, who's the Hyde, the barista, and then Wednesday's love interest. And then we have Percy Hines White as Xavier Thorpe, a student of Nevermore Academy who has the ability to make his art come to life. He is also one of Wednesday's other love interests, but we don't really see a whole lot of that. I mean, we do, but we don't. Emma Myers as Enid Sinclair, Wednesday's colorful werewolf roommate. And then we have Joy Sunday as Bianca Barclay, she is a siren and Xavier's ex-girlfriend. So, drama! Because I am all for it. Then we have Georgie Farmer as Ajax. We don't really see a whole lot of him, but he still does play a good part. He's Xavier's friend and Enid's crush, and they do end up getting together in the end of the series, and I'm like, heck yes! And then we have, Christina Ricci plays Marilyn Thorhill, the botany teacher at Nevermore, and she did play the original Wednesday. And now that we know the main cast, let's discuss how the cast interacts with each other. First off, I get the vibes from the cast, especially the younger adults who are very close with each other in age and other things like that. They all have the vibe that they are very close with each other. They seem to really like each other, things like that. Makes everything better because I feel it is easier for them to be friends and more than friends in some of the actors' cases. If you vibe with somebody, it's very easier for you to portray how you feel about them, things like that. I feel like they did an amazing job in their roles, and they absolutely killed it. The script was amazing as well, as I fully expected it to be. It actually exceeded my expectations. The writers did amazing, and as for the actors bringing the characters to life, they did an absolute amazing job. I was blown away by everything. The pace of the script moved very quickly, with everything coming together smoothly at the end. It didn't really feel choppy. Some episodes were slower than others, but unfortunately, when they're kicking off a show, the first few episodes are going to be really slow, so they're not just throwing everything at you. The ending didn't really feel abrupt to me, like some other shows or movies, and I felt like they left us at a pretty good cliffhanger for season 2. The only thing that I felt was kind of not right was the love triangle between Tyler, Xavier, and Tyler, Xavier, and Wednesday. I thought it was nice, but at the same time, I feel like Wednesday isn't a character who needs or wants to be tied down with a love interest. So if they do season 2, which has been confirmed from the time I wrote this to the time I'm filming it, I personally want more mystery and mayhem and chaos and all of that, and less romance. Like, it would be nice, but again, I feel like a love triangle isn't what Wednesday Addams would want as a character specifically. I feel like the directors did a great job overall trying to create a modern day take on the Addams family. I think Jenna was the perfect choice for this role. She embodied Wednesday perfectly, did a great job with it. The fashion choices and all that were very Wednesday and also very modern at the same time. Again, I feel like Tim Burton was really one of the only people who could bring this project to life in the way we all wanted, so kudos to him and his creative team. All of the directors, all of the writers, all of the costume designers, kudos to you from this very small YouTuber. You guys did a great job. So overall, my review of Wednesday is a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was a great take on the Addams family for a younger generation. I thought the acting was great, and overall the show is for sure one of my favorite things I've watched recently. But again, I feel like they had too much romance for Wednesday, from what I remember. The only thing I say that is because Wednesday was always just depicted as such an independent character, and the fact that they having her in a love triangle just wasn't fitting the vibe I expected, which is why it didn't get a perfect rating. But overall, they did a great job. Anyway, thank you for tuning into this video. You guys could stream Wednesday on Netflix. I definitely think you guys should give it a watch. Anyway, I'm signing off for now. Bye!